In this tutorial, you'll learn how to write linear equations when given a graph. We'll be writing our equations in slope-intercept form, known as y equals mx plus b. So let's get started. First things you need to know for a slope-intercept form of an equation is that you need to know that the coefficient of x is the slope, and the b position number is the y-intercept. So the first thing we're going to do when given a graph is actually find the y-intercept point. Once we've done that, we need to find another perfect corner point by counting the rise and the run. Some people call this the delta y and the delta x. Once we know those two numbers, we place them in the correct positions. So let's get started. Here's my first graph here in blue, and I can see that the y-intercept number, or where I cross the y number line axis, is positive 4. So the b position number is positive 4. Now I need to travel along this blue line until I see another perfect corner point. And I see a couple of them here. And if I'm doing it right, then the pattern, or the rise and the run, should be the same between each of them. So let's take a look. The delta y, or the change in y, known as the rise, is to go down 3. And then it's to go left 1. I could also count the other way. I could go up 3 and positive 1. So a person who says that this is the slope is the same as the person who says this is the slope, because two negatives make a positive. So the slope of our equation, or the m position number, is positive 3 over 1. And I'm going to reduce that to just the number 3. So when I go to write my equation, I'm going to put the slope next to the x and the y-intercept afterwards. This is the equation for that graph. Let's try it again. First, I find my y-intercept number. This one happens to be the origin, so b is going to be 0. Now I'm going to find another perfect corner point. There's one. And now I'm going to count my delta y and my delta x, right? The change along the y, known as my rise, or down 1, negative 1, and then 1, 2, 3 to the right. So my slope, or the number in my m position, is going to be rise of negative 1 and a run of positive 3. So when I fill in my equation, the slope number goes in front of the x here as the coefficient, and the y-intercept goes at the end. So my equation is y equals negative 1/3 x. That should be a little bit more obvious. Let's write that like this. Negative 1/3 x plus 0. If you'd like, you could leave the 0 off. This is the equation for that graph. All right, let's try it 2 more times. We're going to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So the first thing I need to do here is find the y-intercept. Now some people like to put the y-intercept after the x, and some people like to put it first, and then calculate the slope after. So I got to find another perfect corner point. Here's one, and then I'm going to rise 2 and run 3. So some people like to put it in slope-intercept order, and some people like to put the y-intercept first because it's the first number they find. And then they write their slope after with an x. Both of these answers are correct. All right, the next one here has a y-intercept of 1. So I'm going to put it at the end, but someone else might put it first. And now I'm going to find another perfect corner point right there. My rise is negative 1. And my run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units over. So that is negative 1/5, or negative 1/5 with an x at the end. This is correct. This is also correct. All right, pause the video now and try letter C. Let's see how you did. The y-intercept is 3, and another perfect corner point is here. 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 2 over. So the slope is negative 4/2, or negative 2. The y-intercept value was positive 4. So you could write your equation as y equals negative 2x plus 4, or you could reverse it, y equals 4 minus 2x. All right, that concludes our review for diagonal lines, but sometimes you get a special looking line, like this one here. Special looking lines have special looking equations, where they have only one letter in it. See how this one had 2 letters in it? Well, lines that are vertical or horizontal only get 1 letter. And lines that only touch the x-axis get x equals sentences. This blue line is only touching the x-axis, so its equation is x equals, and then the number where it touches, negative 2. And that concludes the video on how to write an equation from a graph.